Monday Night Raw aired live from the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas on July 13, 2026. The show opened with Brock Lesnar, accompanied by his advocate Paul Heyman, walking to the ring flanked by a group of police officers. Heyman told the Dallas crowd that the officers were present because of Oba Femi, calling him a stalker and, in his words, a big Nigerian dummy. Heyman stated that Femi had turned down a guaranteed world title opportunity because of his obsession with Lesnar, and he described the situation as Clinger No. 9 territory. Heyman then revealed that he had obtained a restraining order against Oba Femi, barring him from coming within 100 feet of Lesnar. He added that he had also secured a restraining order against Lesnar himself, framing it as a mutual no-contact agreement approved by a Dallas judge who was a personal friend of his father. As Heyman delivered this explanation, Oba Femi's entrance music interrupted the segment, and Femi walked directly to the ring despite the announced order. The police officers positioned themselves in front of Lesnar as a barricade. Femi entered the ring with a microphone and said he had come for a fight, but first wanted an explanation for what was happening. Heyman responded by telling the officers that Femi had violated the restraining order and instructed them to do their job. Lesnar and Heyman then exited to the floor while the officers attempted to detain Femi. Instead, Femi fought through the entire group, throwing one officer out of the ring and delivering a spinebuster over the top rope that landed on several of the others below. Femi then addressed Lesnar directly, telling him that he used to run this place, and now, all he does is run away. He stated that he had rejected a guaranteed title shot because he knew Lesnar would have interfered regardless, and closed the segment by declaring, "No more games, no more low blows," promising there would be nowhere left for Lesnar to hide once the two met again. This confrontation served as the direct follow-up to a rivalry that began nearly 4 months earlier. On March 16, 2026, Lesnar had returned to Raw seeking retribution against Seth Rollins, only for Oba Femi to intervene and strike him with the fall from grace, his signature finishing maneuver. The following week, Lesnar answered by returning to Raw to confront Femi directly. Days after that initial attack, Femi also appeared on Stephanie McMahon's podcast, What's Your Story, where he discussed his motivations. "When I'm done, I want people to feel Oba Femi," he said during that appearance. He added, "I want to be remembered in wrestling. I remember watching wrestling and feeling strongly about, whether it was this superstar or this storyline, I was invested to a very high degree, and I want people to watch my work and feel the exact same way." That original fall from grace moment carried real consequences. Lesnar had issued an open challenge for WrestleMania 42, daring any WWE superstar to step up, and Oba Femi answered it by walking to the ring and dropping him with the move before placing his foot on the fallen Lesnar. The image was described at the time as one rarely seen involving Lesnar throughout his career. That single confrontation set the stage for the two men's first singles match. The match itself took place at WrestleMania 42 on April 19, 2026, at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, marking Oba Femi's WrestleMania debut. According to the official WWE tale of the tape released ahead of the bout, Femi entered the match at 27 years old, standing 6'6" and weighing 310 pounds, hailing from Lagos, Nigeria, with a combined WWE and NXT record of July 2, 35. Lesnar, by comparison, was 48 years old, measured 6'4" and 290 pounds, and carried an overall WWE record of 74-25-5 along with 10 World Championship reigns. Femi had also compiled a premium live event record of 7-2 heading into the match, while Lesnar's PLE record stood at 39-21-2. Despite the experience gap, Femi defeated Lesnar at WrestleMania 42, pinning him after connecting with the fall from grace. Following the finish, chants of "Thank you, Brock," filled the arena as Lesnar removed his gloves and boots, a gesture widely interpreted as a signal that he was stepping away from in-ring competition. Lesnar was seen in tears embracing Paul Heyman as fans applauded. That result gave Oba Femi a victory over one of the most decorated competitors in WWE history in his very first WrestleMania appearance. Lesnar's presence back on Raw in July, roughly 3 months after that WrestleMania loss, showed that his time away from the ring did not last. His return, accompanied again by Heyman and this time by hired police officers, was designed to keep Femi at a distance ahead of a rematch. Backstage during the July 13 broadcast, WWE General Manager Adam Pearce informed Femi that the entire restraining order angle had been fabricated. Pearce told him the officers were not real law enforcement and that no legal order existed, confirming that Heyman's opening segment had been a bluff. Femi responded by telling Pearce that the ruse only proved Lesnar and Heyman were afraid, adding that they should wait until they see what he does to Brock Lesnar inside of Hell in a Cell. That statement confirmed the stipulation for the pair's next encounter. The rivalry between Femi and Lesnar will continue at SummerSlam, where the two are scheduled to meet inside a Hell in a Cell structure, marking the third meeting between them since March. The structure adds enclosed, weapon-accessible stipulations not present in their WrestleMania singles match, and it comes after Femi already turned down a guaranteed world title opportunity in order to pursue this specific confrontation with Lesnar. The July 13 broadcast also served as the go-home show for Saturday night's main event, which took place on July 18 at Madison Square Garden in New York. Beyond the Femi-Lesnar segment, the same Raw episode featured a World Heavyweight Championship contract signing between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns that ended with Rollins striking Reigns after the paperwork was finalized, setting their singles match at SummerSlam. Chad Gable won a 7-man gauntlet match on the same show to secure a shot at Penta's Intercontinental Championship, also at SummerSlam. Io Sky defeated Roxanne Perez earlier in the night, only for Judgment Day members Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez to attack Sky and her ally Sol Ruca after the bout, building toward Sky's own SummerSlam challenge against Morgan for the Women's World Championship. Framed against that history, the stakes of the Hell in a Cell match extend beyond a simple rematch. Femi has now physically embarrassed Lesnar's camp twice on live television within a single calendar year, first with the surprise fall from grace in March, and again in July by dismantling an entire squad of officers Heyman deployed specifically to prevent contact. He also holds the deciding result between the two men, having pinned Lesnar cleanly at WrestleMania 42. Lesnar, despite the storyline retirement gesture that followed that loss, has returned to actively pursue a rematch, and Heyman's repeated attempts to legally and physically separate the two men have failed on each occasion. The enclosed structure at SummerSlam removes any further possibility of outside interference or an escape route for either competitor, setting up a confrontation with no remaining obstacles between them.